Midnight, which is a joint operation joint investigation rather, between the Ontario Provincial Police and Peel Regional Police that are jointly investigating 5 incidents across Brampton, Mississauga, and the town of Caledon, which resulted in the homicide deaths of 3 individuals who, sadly, in any case where there's loss of life, it's sad and it's tragic. But in an instance such as this, where they are not the intended targets, that these are completely innocent individuals, is obviously even more tragic than we can even put words to. So today is a good announcement that we are working jointly with our friends and our partners at Ontario Provincial Police. Some of the best investigators we have are working on this in collaboration to make sure that no evidence is missed.
Today we attended and had a press conference with the Peel Regional Police, looking for the public's help in trying to help us identify individuals involved in 3 residential shootings, as well as 2 homicides that occurred within the region of Peel and town of Caledon.
Last year in November, 5 separate shootings occurred in our region, in which 3 innocent individuals lost their lives. Since that time, PRP investigators have been working collaboratively with the OPP to investigate these tragic events and senseless acts of gun violence. We know these devastating incidents weigh heavily on the victims' families, who are enduring unimaginable loss. We extend our sincerest condolences to the victims and loved ones. To the families of the victims, we want to say that this investigation is our priority, and we are determined to find the answers to the questions we all have and arrest the perpetrators responsible for these crimes. Peel Regional Police is currently investigating 3 residential shootings that occurred in Brampton on November 7th, 11th, and 14th of last year. On November 7th, 2 unknown suspects discharged firearms in the area of Cottrell Boulevard and Thorndale Road in the city of Brampton. Investigators believe that they fled in a black Dodge Ram 1500 pickup truck. On November 11th, a similar incident occurred, this time at a different residence in the area of Laurenville Drive and Elburn Markel Drive in Brampton. 2 unknown suspects on foot, dressed in black hoodies, fired shots at the residence. Investigators believe that they fled in a burgundy Dodge Ram 1500. On November 14th, an unknown suspect discharged a firearm from a vehicle directed at the same residence in Laurenville Drive and Elburn Markel Drive in Brampton. The suspect fled in a late model silver Mazda 3 hatchback. Thankfully, no injuries were reported at any of these 3 shootings. On November 15th, 2023, police responded to an incident at Royal Windsor Drive and Winston Churchill Boulevard in Mississauga, where 2 unknown suspects approached a business and shot and killed an individual working there. The victim of this homicide is 29-year-old Jagraj Singh from Brampton. Investigators have determined that Mr. Singh was not the intended target, and it was simply the wrong place at the wrong time. The suspects arrived and departed in a blue Dodge Challenger. A few days later, a shooting occurred on Mayfield Road in Caledon, which Inspector McDermott will speak about shortly. On November 16th, 2023, PRP investigators attended this address for an unrelated, lawful investigative purpose and spoke with several people, including the victims of that homicide, that the OPP will share information on shortly. At that time, the Peel Regional Police and the officers did not have any reason to believe the residents of that home were in danger, as the OPP will share that the victims were not the intended targets. Project Midnight was launched alongside the OPP as a joint investigation to ensure best efforts in solving these violent crimes. This is a highly complex and multifaceted investigation, and we know that tragedies like these undermine the sense and safety of security of all members of our community. We are urging anyone with information about any of these incidents to please call the dedicated tip line at 1-833-941-5570. If you wish to remain anonymous, you can contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. We know that any form of gun violence has disturbing and profound impacts on individuals, family, and our communities. We continue to prioritize and work with our community to stop these blatant acts. I'll now pass the podium over to Detective Inspector McDermott. Thank you.
Thank you, Inspector Custance. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Detective Inspector Brian McDermott from the Ontario Provincial Police Criminal Investigation Branch. Shortly before midnight on November 20th, 2023, officers from the Caledon OPP Detachment responded to a shooting on Mayfield Road. 3 individuals sustained multiple gunshot wounds. A male was discovered deceased, while 2 females were transported to hospital. Tragically, one of those females did not survive, while the second female remains in hospital. We believe multiple suspects were involved. One of the suspects was last seen entering a black pickup truck, which was last seen westbound on Mayfield Road. This truck is suspected to have been stolen on November 14th from the area of Mississauga Valley Boulevard and Arista Way in Mississauga. Shortly after the homicides on November 20th, the same black pickup truck that was stolen from Mississauga was involved in a vehicle fire in the area of Old Baseline Road and Credit View Road in Caledon. Images of the truck have been disclosed with today's media release. Police would also like to speak to an individual who was in the area at the time of the vehicle theft who may have valuable information. His photo is also attached for media release. Investigative information and forensic evidence have confirmed that the incidents in Peel Region and Caledon are connected. Furthermore, it seems that the locations of the shootings were deliberately targeted. We wish to emphasize that the 3 victims in the homicide were innocent and mistakenly targeted. 2 lives were tragically cut short, and 1 individual has suffered life-altering injuries. Our thoughts go out to the families and friends of the victims. Together with the Peel Regional Police, we're fully committed to identifying the suspects responsible for these deaths and ensuring that they are held accountable for their actions. We ask that anyone who knows these individuals' identities, whereabouts, or has other information to please contact our dedicated tip line at 1-833-941-5570. You can also provide information anonymously to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. Your cooperation is vital to our efforts to bring these individuals to justice.